Digital classes, here we are, new project, and you're looking at this guy. Hey, sometimes I feel that way, and I thought this would be, I try to do just something fun, not exactly easy because there's steps and things involved, but hopefully you'll have fun with it. You'll find your own photo. You don't got to use this old crazy old man. But I think a person, I'm going to be working with his hands and his head, and so you could even take a picture of yourself or a picture of your hands doing something. You don't have to have a head. You'll see what I'm doing, and you'll come up with your own thing. My suggestion for these videos, really, if you haven't been doing this already, is just watch the video. They're not usually very long, 9 to 10 minutes. I may break, I will break this video into at least into two, so they're not too long all at once. And anyway, so my suggestion is you watch the whole video, then you go and try to follow along with the video. Watch the whole thing first, get an idea of what you're doing, get the things that you're going to need set up, and then you go and start watching the video and then pause and try to follow along. In this video, what I really want us to learn, we're going to do hopefully something fun with this guy, but what I want us to really learn about is using groups, how to group things, and then how to, let me bring this up, adjustment layers, all right? Adjustment layers. We don't really use those. In the past, we use things like hue saturation and things like that, but we don't use them as an adjustment layer. And an adjustment layer is really much more powerful. You can do a lot more with them, and you can always go back. It's always editable, and you always make changes throughout. So that's really pretty cool, and that's what we should really start learning. If you're going to really start learning how to use Photoshop and be a Photoshop pro, then you really want to start learning about adjustment layers and grouping, and our good old buddy layer mask is definitely going to be involved. Okay, so put on, get yourself something cold to drink and follow along with this video. I myself am drinking a little iced coffee. It's morning, so if I pause, that's because I'm taking a sip. All right, here we go. I have already made a selection of the parts that I want of this guy. Okay, I've already done that. Because you should know how to make selections, and I already removed him from the background. All right, so in the end, I'm going to replace the background as well. So I have him, and I have some parts of him. All right. Now, if you don't know, if you have something selected, like I have these, I'm going to select his hands because I would like his hands on a separate layer as well. So if I turn this off, you can see I have these right here. But right now they're on the same layer, and I want these on a different layer than his head. So I'm going to do Command X. Oh yeah, by the way, Command and Option are for people with Mac keyboards and on a Mac, and Control and Alt are the shortcuts for a PC person. So I will usually say Command because I'm on a Mac, but if you're on a PC, you use Control. So I'm going to do Command X, PC is Control X, and that will cut them to the clipboard so they're saved. And then I'm going to get Command Shift V, or on a PC, Control Shift V, and then instead of just pasting in any old place, it pastes it right back where I cut it from. You can tell because it's directly on top of where it was. Anyway, so that's Command Shift V. All right, but the point is, I want them to be in the exact location of the original. All right. So now I have my hands and my head. They're on a separate layer here. Let's see if I can, if you don't know this, you should by now, I think. I am going to do my panel options and make sure, yeah, here we go. I'll make these even bigger. So there, now I have even bigger pictures. So it'll be a little bit easier for you to see maybe even what's going on here and the way these things are laid out. We pretty much just need layers, and I want to bring this up a little bit so that I make sure the video isn't getting cut off and you can see what I'm doing down here when I do them. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to make a copy. I'm dragging this to the layer maker. It's always good to make a couple copies, right? Because then they're safe and you have extras in case you screw something up. Alright, so these are my copies and I'm going to move them up top here. Alright, and they're turned off, so I'm not going to deal with those. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to make these black and white. So there's a couple ways I could do that. The easiest way is image adjustment, hue saturation, and then just remove all the saturation, right? That'll, ooh, not lightness, saturation, and now they're black and white. I took all the color out of them, right? That works pretty well. The other option would be to go to image adjustments, black and white, and this actually has a lot of fun little options because depending on your photo, you can do maximum black. Like if you want to get a little more contrast out of something, red filter, like that's blown out, right? We would not want to pick that. But you have a lot of different options. Darker. I think I like that maximum black maybe. Because I want to kind of just bring out some of what's going on. I do not like black. Do not like that. Do not like that. Infrared's kind of cool. But anyway, see, there's always stuff to play with in Photoshop. Look, supposedly you got nothing to do all day and that your parents are worried about you being bored, and I wouldn't want anybody to be bored. So you can always learn to play with Photoshop, right? Maximum black. I'm going to do that to his head. That was image adjustments, black and white. If you hold your option key down and hit it, it will go right back to the default of what you last used. Okay, so there's him. And so now what we need to do is then we need to invert this, which is easy again. Image, adjustments, invert. There's no kind. Or Command I or Control I. There, invert that. Actually, I'm not going to invert that yet. Let's put the filter on first, then we'll invert it, because the filter will show us kind of what we're doing. Yeah, so filter, we're going to go to our filter gallery, and we are going to put on some plastic wrap. All right. And you're probably saying, Mr. Eddie, I don't even know what we're doing. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. We're going to make this guy look like he's being frozen and turned into like ice or snow or frost or something. Yeah, don't ask me why, but we're going to do it. It's just a fun with Photoshop day. Highlight strength, I'm going to crank this way up. Detail, I'm going to crank this way up. Smoothness, I'm going to crank this down. I want lots of, yeah, see this? I want lots of this kind of wrinkly, you know, kind of like, see how it's kind of looking slick? I want it to kind of look slick and icy. I don't know. All right, so I think it looks slick and icy. I hope you would agree. So anyway, those are my settings right there. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to say okay to that. And I'm going to do it again to his head. And filter. And I'll hold my option key down. Or actually, I think I can just go to filter gallery, this right here, and it should just do it again. Yeah, so just that next, that just does the last filter that you just did. So filter gallery, boom, and it applied the exact same settings. Now that guy, he's already kind of looking, I mean, the color is wrong, right? But he looks a little, I don't know, like slick and icy, like he's got something weird going on with him. So now we're going to invert this. So I'm going to invert, and then I'm going to go to this one, image adjustments, invert. And it's just going to, because when we do, we want the reverse highlights there. Just trust me on this. And then this is where we're going to put our first adjustment layer. Okay, so we're going to come here, and under this we have hue saturation, because the color is not right. That does not look like ice or frost, and we want to change hue saturation, but I want to be able to adjust it. I want to have control over it. So an adjustment layer, look at this, it's a layer that rides above all this stuff, okay? And I also want colorize, because I want to colorize what's going on here. And look at that. And so now, yeah, obviously I want them to kind of have this blue, all right? Because I'm saying it's frost. I can increase my saturation. Yeah, kind of brighten it up a little bit. Anyway, something like that. Maybe I'll lighten it a little. Say okay to that. All right, so that's my adjustment layer. But what's cool is if I go here and I make other changes and I go back to my adjustment layer, it's always there, and I can always go back and I can always change that. Okay, it's not when we go here and just adjust the layer itself and then we're done, except for history, you really can't change it. So then some of you, if you're smart and clever, which I know you are, you might have realized that it is affecting the entire image. And that is not good. I don't want it to affect the entire image. I would like it to affect only the hands. And then again, we're going to do one that's going to affect only the head. I separated mine out. There's going to be a reason for that, and I'll show you. We'll eventually get there. But for your purposes, you might have everything on one layer because you might only just be doing someone's hand. All right, so that's okay. So I want it to affect only this here. So if I hold my Option key or your Alt key down, look at that. I come down near this edge, and it says it's going to do something here, or I can do it there, or right here as well. This little thing here. This adjustment affects all layers below. Click to clip to the layer. That's what I want to do. I want this adjustment layer to affect only the one below it, and that would be to do this and clip it. Boom. So now it's only affecting the layer below and not all layers. All right, that's pretty cool. That's what I want. All right. Else we want to set this to a screen. Screen effect at some point, but we'll get there. So that's that. Now I could do it again for this guy, or I can take this and I can make a duplication of it and I can put it here in between. So now, and then hit clip, and now I'm clipping just his head. All right, so basically I just repeated what I did. So I have an adjustment layer that's affecting only these hands, and I have an adjustment layer that is affecting only his head and the things below. All right, so I'm gonna stop right there because I don't like these videos getting too long. I give you a chance to catch up. All right, so we have our first adjustment layer, hue saturation, adjustment layer, hue saturation. All right, and they are clipped to the layers below, so they're only affecting that and not affecting the whole image itself. All right, catch up, get that ready, get yourself laid out, get your person, get rid of the background because we're going to put a new background in there that will be appropriate to what's going on. Make your selections, get your stuff on the layers that you need, make copies, because if you screw something up, you can always go back and get the always go back, right, and get my hands, because we are putting filters on them, so you can't fix that. I can always turn the hue saturation off because that's adjustable, but those filters that we apply, those you can't go back and change. All right, so get ready for video number 2.